Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen with a progress update covering some of the features of the Star Citizen Alpha 3.2 and 3.3 patches coming in June and September of this year, and a summary of ATV around the verse dated the 17th of May 2018. We're going to be looking at some planetary biomes, mining, shopping kiosks, and a Vandal ship update and a quick public service announcement after that as well. There's been more progress on mining. They have VFX placeholders for laser arcs from the mining laser. There are 3 levels of breakages for mineable rocks as well, with a 4th being added soon. They are playing with the physics of those breaking rocks to get them to act correctly when they break down too. They are moving forward with rock destruction VFX as well for mining in progress, safe mining, and dangerous mining. The visuals for all mining will be replaced with their non-placeholder versions before 3.2 is released, and you're going to have audio cues and VFX cues of how the mining process is going. So it's not entirely stats or visual based on your HUDs or anything. You will be able to learn how well you're doing when you're mining a rock just by listening and watching the actual rock or mineable. Almost everything at the moment is just to make sure the mechanic works and has a visual representation of some sort. The mining tractor beam as well as the scanning and mining UIs are getting further visual tweaks as well. Weapons will be offline while you're in mining mode, when you're in the prospector at least anyway. They are working on the keys and button interactions for that mining feature as well. They have been running tests for Fps Ai in the persistent universe using an outpost as a test level. There are issues that they are solving, as being part of a rotating planet, physics grid, pathfinding, and generally just being on a network can all cause problems for these AI, and they need to iron them out, and that's what they're doing at the moment. VFS work on death marks and large-scale ship damage has been worked on too. Cool explosions, basically. Remember, though, in the future, not all ships will explode. Ships can be disabled, and major components can be destroyed, making them effectively dead. Bits of that ship can be blown off and survive independently. This is going to be important for salvage, but also baiting people, also not knowing whether a ship is entirely destroyed or not, things like that. So it's going to be interesting for gameplay, interesting for boarding, interesting for salvage. They have also been improving ballistic weapons with more natural muzzle flash and less intrusive tracer rounds. The weapons for 3.2 in June are getting sound work. The Gemini 55 light machine gun doesn't, for me, although some people seem to be really praising it on Reddit, have a satisfying enough spin up to me. It looks a bit long as well, and the bullets sound a bit like a pea shooter for a machine gun, but I suspect it will get a bit more bite in the future, and that could just be me. I'm not the best with sound anyway. The Scalpel sniper rifle, however, looks meaty and sounds very punchy when it fires. They've continued to work on the modular hangars for space stations and rest stops. There are going to be areas of interest around them as well that AI will be able to interact with, so that they'll be working on various things. They might be looking at manifests for things, they might be repairing stuff, they might be using drones or unloading cargo. They showed off some of the blockout work for top opening hangars as well. Hurston's Biomes continued to be tested and developed. So they showed some early work in progress on acidic biomes with sulfur pools, savanna biomes with trees and grass, which are also being used as a test bed for wind and detail bending. I assume that's actually going to be trees and branches and leaves individually moving, or at least somehow dynamically moving with the weather and wind. The trash biome was also shown. So the trash or junk biome is quite interesting and is very representative of the environmentally compromised Hurston. Lorville, the main landing zone there, also continues to be developed and fleshed out too. Small rock and object distribution continues to be improved, as does all of the procedural generation for planets and stations. There is a tiny featurette on shopping kiosks, and I'll go over some of the details of that. 3.2 will be the first iteration of these type of shopping kiosks. They are different different from commodity kiosks, as they allow you to buy ship items and weapons, and potentially more in the future. They're used for both buying and selling. It's basically the personal manager and vehicle manager app from the Moby Glass merged with the commodities functionality. They have their own style and branding as consoles as well. You can store items when you purchase them, filter for items for a specific ship or purchase, buy items directly onto a ship. When buying an item to replace a current item, you'll be able to see what item you currently have in that slot that you've selected, and then compare it with items in that shop with their different stats as well. It will be hooked up to a dynamic economy, so they're going to have their own stock and fluctuating prices, and be affected by local resources and other factors as well. These kiosks are there to allow for the purchase of larger items than would normally fit in a store, and for ease of access to larger inventories. However, I think it looks more unlikely that ships will be purchasable in 3.2 now. It hasn't been confirmed either way, but I didn't see any indication that that was the case with the stuff they showed. Hopefully they'll answer it today or in the near future with a definite yes, it's going to be in, or no, it's going to be in this patch, whatever. I will be tuning into RTV to see that, and streaming straight afterwards, but we'll come to that in a minute. Ship updates. The Vandal Blade is a single-seater agile light fighter and was the focus of the ship updates and ship shape. It's smaller than the Scythe and typically more easily destroyed. The Scythe has 2 size 5 guns, but the Blade sports 4 size 2s with some size 1 missiles as well. The ship is supposed to be the Vandal equivalent to the Gladius and will typically be deployed by a kingship or other carrier. When landing, the wings fold in and the landing gear deploys. The newer Vandal stuff is extremely curved, xenomorph and Geiger influenced like, and we can see this very much so with the Blade, with a sort of organic-y feel. I quite like it. This should be applied to the rest of the Vandal current ships that we've seen previously, and probably already has been in the Squadron 42 branch of the game. That Vandal Blade, along with the 600i, the Anvil Hurricane, the Aegis Eclipse, and the Aegis Avenger reworks will all be in for 3.2 at the end of June. A quick public service announcement: the buyback tool, FAQ, and a load of other help info and FAQ articles are now hosted on support.robertspaceindustries.com. These articles will have the latest info on how processes and certain functionality of the website and purchasing and pledges all work, as well as like the latest ship loaner matrix in how to invite a dev to a podcast, gifting, how pledges work. Lots and lots of info, so please check that out if you have a question that you think might be covered in a basic FAQ. Talking about questions, I'm going to be streaming Star Citizen today on twitch.tv/BoredGamer UK and every Friday, but today, on the 18th of May, I'll be streaming from around 5 PM UTC, which should, if I've calculated this correctly, be straight after the Reverse the Verse. I will announce on Twitter when I go live and all that sort of stuff as well, and every Friday, as the time might change a little tiny bit, I'll also chuck up on Twitter day before or so, or earlier in the day, or whatever. Hopefully I'll see you there. twitch.tv/BoredGamer UK. Every month we have a Star Citizen vehicle giveaway. This time it's for a Tonk and Turtle, the Tumbrel Nova and Anvil Terrapin, provided by our featured organisation, Talon's Outer Haven, a roleplay and exploration focused organisation that's individual member centric and like testing in the persistent universe. They have their own radio station too, and they're recruiting, so check out their org in the description below. But to be in for a chance of winning that pair of goodies, make sure that you are subscribed to my YouTube channel and then comment on any of my videos made during May. Each video gives you another chance to win. Also, I'm working with Shadow, which is a cloud-based subscription gaming PC service that gives you an alternative to upgrading, but also as a gaming PC anywhere. I'm trying to make the service as Star Citizen friendly as possible, but please check that out again in the description below if you're interested, and using the promo code BoredGamer will give you a discount too if you decide that you like it. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really does help me, and I'll see you in the verse.